My name is Alina, and I am 25 years old. My partner, David, is 30. We've been together for over 3 years now, and our relationship is complicated, to say the least. From the very beginning, it wasn't a picture-perfect love story. Instead, it was messy, chaotic, and riddled with heartbreak. This is the story of how we came to be and the emotional turmoil I now find myself in. When David and I first met, it felt like destiny. He was charming, funny, and seemed to understand me in ways that no one else had. We clicked almost instantly, and for the first few months, it was a whirlwind romance. But then the storm came. I discovered he had been cheating on me not once, but twice, with 2 women I knew. To say I was devastated would be an understatement. When I confronted him, David didn't deny it. Instead, he broke down, apologized profusely, and begged me to give him another chance. He promised to change and swore that he loved me. Against my better judgment and the advice of my friends, I decided to stay. I wanted to believe that people could change, that our love could withstand the betrayal. And for a while, it seemed like it did. In the years that followed, David did put in the work. He became more attentive, more open, and more committed, or so I thought. We grew closer, and for the first time, I felt like we were truly building something together. But deep down, the scars of his infidelity never fully healed. I carried them with me, a constant reminder of the trust that had been shattered. Recently, however, things took a turn I never expected. David came to me with a proposition. He suggested that we explore our sexuality by engaging in sexual experiences with other people together. At first, I was stunned. It felt like a betrayal all over again, as though my commitment and loyalty weren't enough for him. He framed it as a way to strengthen our bond, to explore new dimensions of our relationship. But I couldn't shake the feeling that it was just another way for him to justify his own desires. I've always been a committed kind of girl. Monogamy was never something I questioned, it was a cornerstone of what I believed love to be. So, when David told me he wanted this, I resisted. I told him it wasn't something I was comfortable with, that it went against everything I believed in. But he persisted. He argued that it could be an exciting and liberating experience for both of us. And then, he dropped the bombshell: if I wasn't willing to explore this with him, he wasn't sure if we could continue our relationship. I felt cornered. The man I had fought so hard to forgive, the man I had stayed with through so much, was now threatening to leave me because I wouldn't agree to something that went against my values. And so, out of love or perhaps out of fear of losing him, I agreed. I told myself that maybe it wouldn't be so bad, that maybe I could learn to enjoy it, or at least tolerate it. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. The first time we acted on this new arrangement, I felt like I was watching someone else's life unfold. It was surreal, uncomfortable, and deeply painful. I put on a brave face for David, but inside, I was falling apart. I told myself I was doing this out of love, that it was a sacrifice worth making to keep our relationship intact. But the more we continued, the more I began to lose pieces of myself. And then, something unexpected happened. I started to feel the urge to cheat on David. It wasn't about revenge or getting back at him. It was about reclaiming a sense of control, of agency, in a relationship where I felt like I had lost so much of myself. But every time I thought about going through with it, I was overcome with guilt. The very idea of betraying him, even after everything he had put me through, felt unbearable. One night, as I lay in bed wrestling with my thoughts, I broke down and cried harder than I ever had before. Why was I feeling this way? Why was I still so committed to someone who had hurt me so deeply? Why was I willing to compromise my own values and happiness for the sake of a relationship that seemed so one-sided? These questions haunted me, but I didn't have the answers. As I write this, I'm still trying to make sense of it all. Part of me wonders if I'm a fool for staying, for allowing myself to be dragged into something that goes against everything I believe in. Another part of me wonders if there's a way to salvage what's left of our relationship, to find a path forward that doesn't require me to lose myself in the process. I don't know what the future holds for David and me. All I know is that I'm at a crossroads, torn between the love I have for him and the love I'm struggling to find for myself. Maybe one day I'll have the strength to choose what's best for me, even if it means letting go of the person I've fought so hard to hold onto. But for now, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, hoping that the answers will come.